Can you really make your vacation cheaper? I'm booking the same trip to Italy twice, first as a normal traveler, then using travel hacks that should unlock lower prices. We'll see how much money I can save, and I'll walk you through exactly how to apply these travel tips yourself. But first, let's go over why these price differences exist in the first place. To begin with, there's this nasty thing called dynamic pricing. Airlines adjust ticket prices in real time based on demand, availability, and market data. Unsurprisingly, prices also rise on popular routes, holidays, and peak travel days. Because airlines know I'm not the only one who wants a nice holiday on the Amalfi Coast, so they jack up the price. Speaking of which, costs can also vary based on your location and the platform you use. Different websites and regions may show different fees for the same flight. This is mainly because of differences in purchasing power, so technically it's not discrimination, but anyway, all these factors mean that two different people will often see two different prices for the exact same trip. And I'm going to demonstrate that by booking my dream holiday to Italy with and without a VPN. Then you'll see these price differences yourself. So let's say my PTO got approved and I want to buy flight tickets from Nashville to Rome, but I'm not using a VPN. So these are the prices I'm seeing on sites like Kayak and Skyscanner. Not that great, to be honest. Let's take note of this price. And now we get to the real question, how to get cheap flight tickets. The answer begins with connecting to a VPN. Good thing I know where to get arguably the top VPN for cheap flights with an excellent discount. Just follow the link below or use this QR code to make budget travel a reality. Okay, now I'll use NordVPN to get cheap airline tickets. However, it's important I do everything correctly. I'll open the NordVPN app and connect to a server in another region that will hopefully help me save money on travel. And I have a few suggestions for countries that might lead to cheap flights. For one, you can try your airline's home country. That would be the UK if you're flying with British Airways. Alternatively, you can connect to the destination country. In my case, that's Italy, or you can try low-cost countries like Mexico, India, and Bulgaria. Anyway, you should test a bunch of options to find the right price, but don't forget to clear your browser's cookies each time. It's also a good idea to use incognito mode. Right, so I connect to a VPN server in another country, clear my browser's history, and then check the flight route I'm interested in. Let's do this a bunch of times and take note of the best price. The great thing is that once you learn how to find cheap flights, you can apply that knowledge elsewhere too. After all, you need a place to stay when traveling somewhere, and you may want to rent a car too. And while the savings for each thing might not seem like much, they can add up to a substantial sum. Maybe enough to offset the price of a good VPN, hint hint. Anyway, if you're unsure how to get cheap hotels, the process is basically the same as with getting cheap flight tickets. Connect to a suitable VPN server, clear your browser's cache, open incognito mode, and then visit the relevant website. For my holiday in Italy, I'll be looking at booking.com. Here's what the pricing options look like without a VPN. And now here they are again, but this time with a VPN. As you can see, there is a noticeable price change. Let's add that to our total cost estimate. And how to get cheap car rentals? Follow the same steps. For my Italian road trip, I'll check my options right here. You can see the car rental prices in Rome without a VPN, and here they are again, but this time with a VPN. Onto my budget they go. Now we can clearly see the amount of savings you can get if you know the right travel hacks. At this point, you might be wondering why I'm using NordVPN for my demonstrations. Well, it's basically the best VPN for traveling abroad. For starters, it has thousands of servers in more than 220 locations, giving you plenty of regions to test prices from. Secondly, it showed the fastest connection speeds on our own and in independent tests. That means no lag, no matter where you decide to travel. Besides that, you'll get exceptionally strong security. All your online activities will be protected with strong encryption, meaning you won't have to worry about shady Wi-Fi in airports, hotels, or cafes. Plus, NordVPN recently released a next-generation antivirus solution that easily blocks ads and trackers for a cleaner online experience. And of course, it works great with streaming. In case you're not interested in Italian cinema and want to kick back with your usual Netflix shows from home. And best of all these great perks are affordable and come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, which is enough for a long holiday. Just don't forget to use my link in the description if you want to secure yourself the best discount on this excellent VPN. All right, I've got one more travel hack up my sleeve that'll help you save some money when traveling abroad. It's a way to avoid those pesky roaming bills that can really add up if you're not careful. I'm of course talking about eSIMs. Without an eSIM, standard roaming costs can be extremely expensive. The details will vary by your phone carrier and where you're traveling, but in some countries you may have to pay as much as $1 per megabyte. If my math is right, that's around $1,000 for 1 gigabyte. Yikes. On the other hand, some carriers offer special travel passes as an alternative to roaming. It's a decent option, but still pricey. For example, companies like Verizon and AT&T charge a good chunk of money per week. That's why I recommend an eSIM like Saily. It's a more affordable and flexible option than relying on your mobile carrier. For my trip to Italy, I can get unlimited data for a week at the same price as 3 days with Verizon, and the value scales with the duration of the trip. Plus, you can lower the price even further by picking a plan with limited data. Whatever your preferences are, the link below and this QR code will get you even better savings on any Saily plan you choose. What makes Saily the best eSIM for travel is that it works in over 200 destinations, not just Italy. The plans are flexible, meaning you can choose a country-specific option or a regional plan if you want to do a Euro trip. Setting up the app is no trouble at all, and the connection speeds are great once you're actually in another country. So depending on where you travel, Saily will save you anywhere from a few bucks to thousands in roaming charges. Combine that with the fact that you won't have to rely on questionable Wi-Fi networks, and I think you've got yourself a no-brainer of a travel essential. So be sure to check the links in the description to get my recommended travel essentials at a great price. As my tests have shown, a few travel hacks here and there can make a noticeable difference in the price of a comprehensive trip to Italy. From flight tickets to hotels, car rentals, and internet access, all these savings add up and basically offset the price of a VPN and eSIM. Such results aren't guaranteed, of course, but I think it's worth a shot. And those are all the travel hacks that I know of. Let me know in the comments if you have other tips on how to find cheap flights. And now I need to pack my bags for my vacation. See you later.